Hello, Joe here from Way Scarff Ford. Today we're going to talk about this amazing 2023 Tesla Model X Plaid that we have for sale. One amazing all-electric 3-row crossover that can literally melt your face with acceleration with over 1,000 horsepower. And electric horsepower is pretty amazing because an electric motor doesn't need to rev to its power band. It doesn't need to downshift into the right gear. You just have instantaneous acceleration right away. 0 to 60 about 3.5 seconds. Quarter mile I think is right around 11 seconds. This Tesla can not only put sports cars to shame with the way it accelerates, but also supercars. It is amazing how fast it is, but it also is a great daily driver. It's not like a bucking horse that you feel like you're driving around at parking lot speeds. It's ready to take off. It's actually very docile and easy to drive and maneuver in an urban and city environment. You have fantastic cameras. Put it in reverse and you can see we have great parking cameras. If you upgrade to full self-driving, it actually has self-park features, which are excellent. Full self-driving is about $99 a month, or you can buy it for $8,000. It works great. I have it on my own Tesla. I've been using it for 2 years. But if you're not interested, the regular autopilot, which is basically traffic aware cruise control, works pretty awesome as well. This one is very nicely equipped with features. If you're going to build a brand new one in the Tesla configurator, one equipped like this with the blue exterior, white interior, the upgraded 22-inch wheels, the yoke steering wheel, it'd probably be a little over $100,000. So this nice example is 23 with pretty low miles. On the pre-owned market, it's a pretty good value. 14,209 miles at the time of making this video. The majority of the functionality is in the screen. You can see the rest of the vehicle is devoid of buttons and knobs, and that's by design. Some people ridicule Teslas for not having a lot of buttons and knobs, but when you have hard buttons and knobs, those are there forever. This is like a smartphone on wheels. Like I just got a big iOS update from my iPhone, and even though my iPhone's like 4 years old, I can still benefit from new features. Same goes with Teslas. My Tesla's a 2019, but the display and functionality is pretty similar to this one with the over-the-air updates. So Tesla keeps their vehicles relevant with these over-the-air updates, and hard buttons and knobs are there forever. This screen is infinitely reconfigurable. So it's constantly getting improvements. It's one of the few vehicles that actually gets better, constantly getting features and safety improvements. It's a vehicle that gets better, literally gets better the older it gets. Not a lot of other vehicles are like that. There's a lot of voice commands too. You don't have to worry about having to do everything on the screen. You can put the wipers on, you can put the rear defrosters on, you can do the heated seats controls, cooled seats controls with voice commands, so you don't have to look down off the road, be distracted. There's 140 different voice commands that Tesla has. So we have a user interface that's very intuitive. It's almost like it was designed by Apple. So it seems maybe overwhelming at first, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it's pretty easy to swipe and access menus just like using an iPad. Recently, they also upgraded the display so it can tilt, which is a pretty cool feature. You can tilt it to the right, you can tilt it to the left, or you can keep it centered in the middle. This one features a yoke steering wheel, which I like because it keeps all this area that's normally obstructed by a steering wheel open. And I like it. I don't have a hard time at all maneuvering and using stuff on the yoke steering wheel. It is possible to get this changed over to a regular steering wheel if you don't like yokes. If you like this particular Tesla and you want a regular steering wheel, I think Tesla will put a regular steering wheel in, I think for like $700 or $800. Not too bad, but the yoke's great. The yoke is actually an extra cost option on the Model X. We have this nice wireless charging pad. To put it in gear, you can swipe forward and backward, and then you press P to put it in park. And there's also buttons right here where you can use to put it in park, reverse, hazard lights, neutral, and drive. And there's also a setting where it can intuitively put it in reverse or park depending on the way the vehicle is parked. So obviously if you're parked up against the wall, the vehicle will probably figure, okay, if you have a wall right in front of you, where you probably want to go in reverse, so it can decide on its own. It actually works pretty well. So there's a number of different ways to put it in park, reverse, drive, and stuff like that. This has a beautiful premium white interior. We have these perforated leather seats. We have a great climate control system. The front seats are heated, and they're also ventilated as well, which is really nice. The climate control system is fairly easy to use. It's like using an iPad. You can control the airflow that way. We have a dog mode. So if you have your dog and you want to keep your dog in your vehicle, it'll keep it at a comfortable temperature. It'll display a little puppy dog on the screen saying, "Don't worry, my owner will return soon." It's a comfortable 71 degrees. There's also a camp mode. So if you want to camp in your vehicle, shut off systems that you don't need while camping, and it will keep the climate control system on. And you can watch the infotainment system, watch movies and stuff while you're camping out in it. There's also a biodefense mode. And this is not a gimmick. So right now, it's pressurizing the air inside the cabin. So the only way that air can come inside the cabin is through these giant HEPA filters in the front of the vehicle. We'll turn it down. These giant HEPA filters are about the same size as the HEPA filter that you'd find in your house. Bigger than pretty much any other HEPA filter you'd find in a production vehicle. And it can clean pollutants out of the air, allergens. There are instances where people were in areas where there's forest fires and the air was pretty, hard to breathe, and they actually sought refuge in their Teslas, and the biodefense mode actually cleaned the air, making it safer to breathe. It's not a gimmick. The system's pretty amazing. So if you live in an area where there's forest fires or a lot of allergens or particles in the air, this amazing HEPA filter system can filter all that stuff out. So I have this amazing screen. You have these Google Maps that come with premium connectivity, $10 a month, well worth it. You can also have illustrated maps if you like. You can also use the screen to navigate. You just put where you want to go in the navigation system and it will take you there. You can also use the screen to find charging. You hit that lightning bolt right there, and this will show you all the supercharging options in the area. There's quite a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 supercharging locations within 10 miles of us, and you just hit the location and it will navigate you to that location. It's always good to navigate to a supercharger even if you know where it is, because you can see right now it's preconditioning the battery for faster charging. That's really important in cold weather. So all those people in zero weather you heard in the news that couldn't charge their EVs, they couldn't charge their Teslas, that's because they didn't precondition their battery for charging. If the battery is completely cold and it's not warmed up, it's not going to charge very fast, or it's going to hardly charge at all. There's also a lot of other things you can do with this screen. You can play video games with the arcade, and you don't necessarily need to just use buttons on the screen. You can actually get like a wireless Xbox style controller. You can even get a keyboard and mouse to play some of these games. It actually has a pretty fast processor, and it can play pretty graphics intensive games that you'd normally play like on a PC. We have the toy box, which has you can play a light show. You have a colorizer, so if you decide to wrap your vehicle, you can have your avatar match the color of your wrap. We have the silly whoopee cushion with a multi-track recorder. Some of the things are helpful and useful. Some of the things are kind of like parlor tricks. All fun. We have power operated doors. Really nice. So if you have a smart proximity key or your phone, you can actually set the vehicle up so if it detects you're coming close, the door will open automatically. You just put your foot in the brake and then the door will close. So it's possible, if once you have your phone set up as a key, you can literally get inside a Model X without having to touch the door. Since there is no engine up here, we have a frunk, which gives you more cargo space. It's also a safety feature. You have a crumple zone that's about 60% larger than a gas car, because you have all this space to absorb crash energy in a frontal collision since there's no engine there. I really love the space age styling of the Model X. There's no confusing it with anything else on the road. These upgraded 22-inch wheels really make it pop. Really beautiful wheel and tire package. I love this color combination. Then of course we have the amazing Falcon wing doors. There's no other vehicle with doors like this. They have sensors all over them, so if you're parked really close to a vehicle, if you have a garage with a low ceiling, it'll open differently. Like you can look in a video, when I was doing a video in our photo booth, you can see that the doors were not opening all the way because it could detect the low ceiling where we're outside, and they're opening fully. So these Falcon wing doors are amazing. You have this nice suede cloth headliner. Very, very premium vehicle. This feels like a $100,000 vehicle. In fact, when the Model X Plaids first came out, they were about $140,000 depending on the configurations. 120, 140,000. Luckily Tesla has brought down the prices, but like I said, one equipped like this is still close to $100,000. So nice pre-owned one like this is an excellent value. I don't get too much in the pricing. on these things because they change, but right at the time of making this video, December of 2024, you can get a pre-owned 23 Model X Plaid in the $70,000 to $80,000 price range, depending on the options and the miles. We also have a screen back here where you can operate the climate control system, you can listen to music, you can watch movies and YouTube, and you can play video games. And we have heated seats for all rows of seats as well. These second row captain's chairs are very comfortable and they're easy to slide forward for third row access. The third row seats aren't too bad as far as space goes. And since we don't have a gas tank or an exhaust system, you have more storage back there. It's amazing how much storage this has. The third row seats fold fairly flat. And you can fold those second row seats forward, those captain chairs forward. Obviously they don't fold flat, but you can have a decent amount of cargo space. Really amazing vehicle. And you know, this is a 1,000 horsepower, melt your face with acceleration, family crossover of 3 rows of seating. But unlike a lot of gas cars that have 1,000 horsepower, which will require complex maintenance at the dealerships, you know, expensive oil changes, expensive 30, 60, 90K scheduled services, an electric vehicle is very simple. Instead of having thousands of moving parts, it has dozens. So this is a 1,000 horsepower plus vehicle that's not going to require expensive dealership visits. Your biggest maintenance item is going to be tires, which if you don't behave yourself with 1,000 horsepower, you can go through tires fairly quickly. Yeah, and brakes, with regenerative braking thanks to EVs, it uses the electric motor to slow the vehicles down, so it's not uncommon to get 150,000, 200 plus thousand miles out of brakes. Usually brakes on a 1,000 horsepower supercar can be fairly expensive, or you're not going to have to probably ever do brakes on this thing unless you have it past 150,000 miles. And then there's the other thing, is a warranty. Most 1,000 horsepower gas cars don't have a very long warranty. Usually it's about 4 years, 50,000 miles, or 6 years, 70,000 miles, and then you're out of warranty. This has an 8-year, well, the balance of an 8-year, 150,000 mile warranty on the batteries and the drive units. So the electric motors and the batteries have coverage from the first date it was in service, so it's about a year old, 8 years and 150,000 miles. We can hear another high-performance car revving over there. What high-performance car with a gas engine is going to have a 150,000 mile warranty for 8 years from the manufacturer? Pretty unlikely, because a lot of those engines probably won't last that long. EVs have actually proven to last longer than gas cars. The average life of a gas car is 150,000 miles. There are older Model S's and Model X's with 300 plus thousand miles on the original batteries. So they are proving to be less maintenance, less service, and then on top of all that, you're going to save money using electricity versus gas. So if you're looking for a do-it-all high-performance vehicle that you can also use to cart around your family in complete safety, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the Model X is one of the safest vehicles that you can buy. So not only is this super fast, amazing technology, but it's also one of the safest vehicles on the road. So if you value your safety and your family's safety, maybe that should be the #1 reason for buying a vehicle like this. And then all that rest of the stuff is gravy. I could literally go on and on for an hour, but you probably don't have time for that. So we'll end it here. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.